All right, welcome to another episode of Schoology How-Tos. What we're going to be learning about today is how to add a folder into your class. So I like to use folders just to keep everything organized. Typically what I do is I organize things into whatever unit we're learning. And so if you go to there's a spot that says add materials, and you want to go to add folder. That's the very first thing. And then you have a couple options here. So my first unit is going to be called integers. So that would be positive and negative whole numbers. That way students know what they're going to be learning. And then down here you can pick the folder color. I'm going to be adding a picture as well, and the picture is yellow, so I'm going to make my folder yellow. You can make whatever you want though. And then typically what I like to do is I like to go ahead and put like the learning goal in here. So I would put, I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide positive and negative numbers. There's my learning goal. If I want to, so this is kind of like Microsoft Word here, where you can like use bolded lettering, italics, underline, stuff like that. So nothing too intimidating to use there, but if I want to add an image, there's this button with the arrow on it that says insert content, and you can insert a lot of different kinds of things. You can insert images, links, symbols. You have all those options, but I'm going to go ahead and insert an image in here. And you can either get it from the web, or I actually have it on my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and click attach file. And then if you know the name of your file, you can go up to search documents and type in the name of it. My name of it is just one, so there it is right there. But if you know like what folder it's located in, you can use that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and there it is. Then you have the date. The date is really only if you want it to be available to students after a certain date. So if you want it to just be available to students now, you don't need to do this. But let's say, for example, I wanted it to be published this Friday. So this Thursday. So, which is tomorrow. But if I wanted this to be published on that date and at a certain time, like say I wanted it to be published at the beginning of school, so I could put 8:00 a.m. And then on your availability options, you have 4 options here. You can just say publish. Publish means that like right when you create the folder, students are able to see it. Unpublished means that right when you post it, students are not able to see it. Publish on start date means that when you click that you're creating the folder, it will publish on the date and time that you picked. So mine would publish tomorrow at 8:00 a.m. And then if you are publishing it during a date range, then you would also have to add an end date. So say I wanted it to be published just over the weekend, I would put, okay, maybe I want it to end Monday at 8:00 a.m. Then it would be published between those dates. But for the purpose of this, I think I just want it to be published right off the bat. So we're going to delete all this stuff. That way it doesn't have the dates on there. And we're just going to have it published. And then when you click create, you have a nice little folder here. And then I like the visual picture there so that students can see what unit they're on. So if I want to add, let's say I wanted to add different folders to my folder. So like I say, I wanted to have one part of the unit be adding and subtracting, so I can add another folder. And then I'm going to make it yellow again since it's still in the same unit. So I can say adding and subtracting integers. And then I'll just have it published right away as well. And there's my next folder. And then I'm going to create a folder for the rest of them. So add folder. We have multiplying and dividing integers. And then say I also want my students to learn about absolute value. So I'll create a folder for that as well. Absolute value. Yellow folder. Okay. So now I have 3 folders, and I want these to be like subfolders inside of the main folder. So what I can actually do here is I can take this and move it and just drag it into the folder. And there it is. There we go. So now it's like a subfolder. And then we can add this one below. There we go. And then we add this one below. You just have to be careful if you're doing this because sometimes it'll think that you're adding a subfolder to the subfolder. So just make sure that they should all be lined up at the very end. So, and then if you don't want these to show, you can just click this and then they're all inside the folder. If you click on the blue link here, then they all show right here, which is pretty cool. You can also, to add these folders in here, instead of dragging them in, you can go inside of your folder. And if I wanted to add one more, there's that add materials option inside the folder as well. So you can click add folder and there are the same options there. So that's all about folders. On the next episode, we'll talk a little bit about how to create an assignment.